Okay students, so in this video we will continue our next topic. Last time we learned basic of AC current, then what is the phasor diagram, how to draw it, and then we connected alternate current to resistor only, and we have seen that there is no phase difference between EMF and current when a resistor is connected. So next part is AC to inductor only. Suppose I am connecting alternating current, okay, to inductor only. So this is the EMF E is equal to E0 sine omega t, okay, that is provided by this AC source, okay, to the inductor. And here is our E is equal to E0 sine omega t is the equation. This is equation number 1, that is EMF. So we have to now go for what is the current in this inductor, okay, because we have to draw phasor diagram and we have to see the its characteristic, what is the phase relation between current and voltage when AC connected to inductor only. So students, so by using this equation we will derive the equation for current, and then we can easily compare it, okay, what is the phase relation. So net EMF in this case, okay, when this AC source will be switched on, so what will be the net EMF? So net EMF is equal to E minus back EMF. Now what is back EMF, students? So we know that this AC source is continuously changing its direction. We know AC continuously changes its direction, and because of change in direction there is a magnetic flux, okay, and that magnetic flux, which we know that when current flow through the wire, so it produces a magnetic effect, which is called magnetic effect of electric current, okay. So because of that magnetic effect, one EMF is induced, that will try to oppose the source, power source, which is producing this EMF. So this source is this one, okay, so it will try to oppose. So one EMF will be in this direction, okay, because it will try to oppose, because AC continuously changes direction, and because of change in direction there is change in magnetic flux, okay, and because of that change in magnetic flux, one EMF is induced as per Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. This is called back EMF in inductor, and that is given by the minus L di by dt, okay. This minus sign is because of opposition, okay. So net EMF in this circuit is equal to E minus L di by dt. So since students no resistance is connected in this circuit, so net EMF is equal to 0, or you can simply apply Kirchhoff's law. What you can do, Kirchhoff's law you can apply in this circuit, okay. One EMF will be here, Kirchhoff's second law, loop rule. One EMF is here and one EMF is minus L di by dt. Here EMF will be minus L di by dt. So E minus L di by dt, that will equal to 0. So therefore here it is written, so E minus L di by dt is equal to 0, okay. Now this equation will help us to find out what is the current, because here you can see here we have di, okay. So I can write E is equal to L di by dt. Now what is E? E is nothing but E0 sine omega t. From this equation you can see, so E0 sine omega t is equal to L di by dt. So therefore we can find out di. So since it is di, so students, so if we want I, so we have to integrate, but before integration we have to convert our equation in suitable form. That is the method of integration, okay. So that's what we are doing here. We are converting this this equation to integrate, okay. So proper form is important. So therefore we will take di one side and remaining term another side. So what we will get, E naught by L sine omega t dt. Now integrating, because it is in suitable form, so integrating, so integration of di is equal to integration of E0 by L sine omega t dt. Now you know that integration of di become I, okay, and this sine omega t, this c we are integrating, so here is dt and t is here, okay. So this omega is multiplied with a variable, so this will come in denominator. This is the rule of integration. So E0 by omega L you will get, an integration of sine omega t is nothing but minus cos omega t. So therefore you are getting here minus sign, and plus one constant. Why constant? Because this is indefinite integral, okay, because we don't have any limit here, okay. So this is what indefinite integral. Now we have to find out value of this constant. Now students, since we are applying alternating current, and we know that average value of alternating current is always 0, so average value of EMF, so this EMF will be 0, so current, average value of current will also be 0. So it means students, and here we are getting cos omega t, and average value of cos omega t is 0. So this total result should be 0, और ये already 0 हो रहा है. It means this constant is also 0, because if this constant is non-zero value, then this equation will not satisfy. Okay, you will say, sir, why this is so? Because average value ये 0 होगा. Average value, if you take this cos omega t, this is 0. Okay, and this is already 0, and total भी 0 होना चाहिए. So if total is 0, so and this is already 0, it means this is also 0. So therefore this constant is 0 here in this case. Now we can write here I is equal to minus E naught omega L cos omega t is equal to minus I naught cos omega t, where this I naught is equal to E0 by omega L. E0 by omega L, that is I naught, that is peak value of current. This is what peak value of current, and this is very important equation, students. Later on we will use this equation. Okay, so you have to take care of this equation. I0 in case of inductor is equal to E0 by omega L. We'll do here in this video only, but you have to remember this equation, okay, for time being. Now see, so solve this. I is equal to I minus I naught, and this cos omega t, I can write it sin omega t minus pi by 2. Now you will say, sir, यहाँ पर तो इक्वेशन हो गया, अभी इसको सॉल्व करने की क्या जरूरत है? See, what we are doing, actually we are trying to find out phase relation between current and voltage. Okay, so that's why we are converting, because our EMF equation E is equal to E0 sine, this is in terms of sine. So we are converting this equation in the sinusoidal function, so that we can compare what is the relation. So minus I naught, and cos gets converted to sine pi by 2 minus omega t, because we know that cos theta is equal to sine pi by 2 minus theta. This is basic trigonometry we learn in 10th standard. So now I is equal to, so I can write I is equal to I0 sine omega t minus pi by 2. Here we have converted, because we know that minus sine theta is equal to sine minus theta. So finally we will get our equation I is equal to I naught sine omega t minus pi by 2, and this is our equation number 2. Now we can easily compare both the equations, students. Now we can find out what is the phase relation between current and EMF in case of inductor, when AC is connected to inductor. So you can see I am writing here E is equal to, here I am writing E is equal to E0 sine omega t. This is the equation for EMF. Okay, this was the equation number 1. Now you can easily compare. See, this is here I is equal to I0 sine omega t minus pi by 2, and here we have E0 sine omega t only. It means current is lagging by pi by 2 radian. Okay, you can see here pi by 2, and here there is sine omega t, means there is pi by 2 is subtracted from sine omega t in case of current. It means when inductor is connected to AC, so there is current and voltage does not vary same. There is phase difference of pi by 2, 90 degree का phase difference होता है. Okay, sin omega t. So it means in case of resistor, both were having same phase difference, but in case of inductor, current is lagging, or you can say EMF is leading by pi by 2. Okay, so sometimes this type of question is asked in multiple choice question. Current is leading, or EMF is leading, or EMF is lagging. So that become great confusion. So you can remember this equation I0 sine omega t minus pi by 2, and E is equal to, this is E naught, this is E0. Sorry, this is E only. EMF is equal to E0 sine omega t only. Okay, so this is what. So now we know the phase relation between current and EMF. So what we can do here, now we can draw graph and phasor diagram also. So I have already drawn here. So you can see here. So this is the graph. So this is this solid line is for EMF. Okay, because it was sinusoidal. Okay, so you can write here E is equal to E0 sine omega t, and this dotted line, because there is phase difference of pi by 2. So when it will start from 0, when EMF start from 0, current start from here. Okay, and you can see when EMF reaches to pi by 2, see this is pi by 2, students. You can draw the axis. So this is what this is for one complete cycle, phase is 2 pi. So it means ये आधा होगा, that is pi, and this is what pi का भी half, that is pi by 2. So when EMF reaches at pi by 2, current is at 0. Okay, current का वैल्यू तो 0 यहाँ पर. Okay, and when you can follow the graph. Okay, so when it becomes 0, so current become maximum. Okay, so like this, and here you have to write T or omega t, very important. And this is what peak value of EMF, and this is what peak value of current, like that you have to draw graph. Now phasor diagram. So student, for phasor diagram, last time I told you, draw x and y axis. This is 0. First draw EMF line. So this is suppose EMF at an angle omega t. Okay, because coil is rotating, remember that concept, you can see that video also. So now, so this is what E naught, and here is the maximum value. This is, you can compare with the equation. However, EMF is not a vector quantity, but you can vector dot, we are drawing phasor diagram, so you can consider this length from head to tail. This is the magnitude of EMF. So here is the EMF, that is peak value of EMF here, E naught. Okay, now we know that current is lagging by pi by 2. Students, अगर मैं एक लाइन ऐसे ड्रॉ कर दूँ यहाँ पर ऐसे, एक लाइन ऐसे अगर ड्रॉ करता हूँ ऐसे, okay, so that is also makes pi by 2, but we know that it is lagging. So for lagging, your current line should be here and it should be smaller than EMF. ये EMF से छोटा होना चाहिए, because we know that current is less compared to EMF. Okay, so this is what your phasor diagram, that is your I. Now inductive reactance. Now students, what is inductance? First we will define what is inductive reactance. So inductive reactance is basically, it is a measure of the effective resistance or opposition offered by the inductor to flow of AC through it. So basically students, like when we were in 10th standard, so we learn about Ohm's law and we define a terms which is called resistance. It means what? It offers some resistance, and we name that component as a resistor. Okay, so same thing is happening in case of AC also. Okay, even inductor also oppose the current in case of AC current. Okay, so therefore a different name, that is inductor से inductive लिया गया, and reactance, that is opposition. Okay, so inductive reactance basically it is a measure of the effective resistance or opposition offered by the inductor to flow of AC through it. Okay, now what is the value of this? So I told you this is very important equation. I0 is equal to, that is peak value of current is nothing but E0 by omega L. Now students, if you compare this equation by Ohm's law, so I is equal to V by R, and this is what E, that is V, and this omega L is equal to R, and here we will not write R, we will write X, that is reactance, XL, that is inductive reactance, XL. L is symbol for inductor, okay, not I, because I already symbol for current. So XL is what? Inductor, and that is nothing but omega L. Okay, so we can write omega L, and omega L nothing but, omega is nothing but 2 pi F, 2 pi into frequency of rotation, okay, or frequency of that AC. Okay, and this is what? L is the value of inductor, how much inductance is there. Okay, so now students, from this equation, so you can see that XL, I am separately writing here, XL is equal to 2 pi FL. Now look at these quantity. 2 pi is a fixed number, 2 into 3.14, F is the frequency, L is the inductor. So in any circuit, suppose inductor is connected, okay, so inductor is connected, so this value of L is fixed. Okay, so it means I can write inductive reactance is directly proportional to frequency. Okay, means if you increase the frequency, so inductive reactance will also increase. So we have different type of AC generator in laboratory also, from where we can change its frequency, okay, from few hertz to few megahertz also. Okay, so if you increase the frequency, opposition will be more in case of frequency. Now if you look at this equation for DC, so students, we know that DC don't have frequency of DC is 0. Okay, for DC F is equal to 0, it means inductor will not offer any opposition to DC. It means what? Inductor allow DC, but it block AC. Okay, if it is frequency is very high, so it will not allow to pass through it. So therefore this is what? XL is equal to 0 for DC. Okay, but it offer resistance for AC. Okay, this is what? Inductive reactance. Okay, and if I'll plot the graph, so we know that this is direct proportional relation. So suppose I am plotting a graph, so this is 0. This is suppose frequency axis because it is known quantity, and if I'll increase the increase the frequency, so XL will also increase. So you can see here it will get straight line. Okay, this is what graph for XL versus F. So this was all about inductor, and in next video we will connect capacitor to AC, then see its phasor diagram and phasor relation, and then we will go for Q factor, that is you can say quotient factor, okay, or bandwidth also we'll see. So this is what important part of AC, that is when AC connected to inductor, you have to take care of this phasor diagram, current lag, okay, and this is the waveform, or you can say graph. Okay, so thank you for watching this video.